Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we're going to look at the SBDR hero. This is the final hero from the Sinister Motive Wave.
I just call her Spider.
Yeah, I know. Um, and I say this for every hero, but she definitely has something unique because she has two identity cards, but you only use one of them at a time.
Yeah, but unlike some of the others that have extra cards that have like forms and stuff, these are actually two identity cards that are in play at the same time.
Right. And on one side, it doesn't count against your
Yeah.
deck, but the other side, then it does because it's not your identity card. So you still only have one active identity card at a time, but these are double sided. And on the other side, they are the reverse if they are
The alter ego. And speaking of alter ego, so in alter ego form, she is Penny Parker. She has a recovery of 4. The alter ego card, the civilian card, is the active card when she's in this form. And she has the psychogenetic compatibility. So as part of setup, you put the spider suit into play in active side face up. So that's where the other card comes from. So technically she's your hero, and then she brings that card in at the very beginning, or she's your identity. But then, as a maintenance action, and it's an alter ego action, you can exhaust the suit to draw 2 cards.
right. And so the suit.
So it's weird. You exhaust her to heal, you exhaust the suit to draw the cards.
Yeah. So the SBDR suit is inactive tech permanent. This card's printed text box cannot be treated as if it were blank. So when it says blank your identity, well, this is not your identity, so it can't be blanked.
Yep.
But the nice thing is when you flip, so the other side is the hero. So if that got blanked and then you flipped alter ego, well, this text box can't be blanked. So this is return to base, force interrupt. When you flip to this side, flip SBDR to the Penny Parker side, detach Penny Parker from here, moving all counters on her and cards attached to her to this card. So if she, if she had some kind of weird cards that affect your identity, it's being moved to the suit.
Well, so the attachments that blank your hero, they get moved to her because it's or they get moved to the suit because it's an attachment, and the hero's no longer blanked.
The alter ego.
Oh, the alter ego, yes.
Yeah. All right. So but then we flip.
And so whenever she flips over to hero form, so go ahead.
Yeah. So now so this is your identity, and this is something else, which we'll get to. So SBDR suit, she's 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense, active web warrior. Sync ratio, which that's going to be important here in a minute. Exhaust and interface upgrade you control, which we can see we have one right now. Generate that upgrades resource, and she has a hand size 3. So she had a hand size 4 in alter ego and a hand size 3, and she's got 14 hit points.
Yes.
Oh, so she's one of those heroes. She's the hero that brought a lot of those 14 plus cards.
Yep.
But she has a hand size of 3. So that's going to be why that's not a big handicap as it seems right now. We'll get to that.
Okay, but so when you're in this form, you have SPDR is an interface pilot. So she is a permanent that, the printed text box cannot be blanked on this side. And then suit up, so she has a forced interrupt. When you flip to this side, you flip the suit over to the active side, and then you attach this card to the suit. So she becomes an attachment, basically. And then moving all counters from this card to the attach, and you attach those to the suit instead.
Yeah.
So anything that's attached to this one or any counters on it, move with you.
All right, and then we'll look at her kit cards. So the first one is her signature ally, Venom. 4-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 hit points. Venom gets +1 thwart and +1 attack for each sim counter on her. Hero response. After Venom enters play, place 1 sim counter on her for each resource generated by SBDR suit's sync ratio. Ability to pay for her. And so, spoiler, she has more than one interface. As we saw, Penny Pilot, I guess, is 1, but she's got some more. Well, and for each, so she could conceivably come into the game as a 5/5.
Yeah, this one will make more sense when we get to that sync ratio card.
Right. And then when we get to some of the other cards, we'll kind of go over what to help work on that a little bit.
Yeah, how they kind of work together a little.
All right. So we got this card here.
All right, so the next thing we've got is All Systems Go. It's 3 copies of this. It is a 1-cost event. As a hero action, you can choose to either ready each interface upgrade you control, or search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to your hand. So this is a way that she can actually get her interface upgrades into play sooner. Or if she's already got them out and set up, then you can ready them and use them an additional time.
Okay. Then we got her thwart card. We have 2 copies of Rapid Deployment, a 2-cost event. Hero action thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme. If you paid for this card using at least 1 resource generated by the SPDR's sync ratio ability, remove 3 threat from a scheme. So it can remove 6 threat for a cost of 2, as long as you used 1.
Remember, oh yeah, and that's the sync ratio is this one right here.
Yeah.
This ability. So let's leave that there, because we're probably going to come back to that a few times. Okay, so we've got 2 copies of Web Trap. This is a 2-cost event. It's an attack event. So you deal 5 damage to the enemy, and if you paid for this using the sync ratio, then that you can stun that enemy as well. So I mean, if you can either stun a really big minion, or you can stun the villain with this. So,
okay.
Yep.
And then we got Aunt May and Uncle Ben. It's a 1-cost support. Persona, exhaust Aunt May and Uncle Ben and discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Top 3 instead if you're an alter ego, and add each SPDR card discarded this way to your hand. So you have again, you only have a hand size of 3 when you're a hero, but you could play this every turn to at least maybe get some more cards in your hand.
Yeah, and if you're not as familiar with all of the different iterations of Spider-Man and everything, you might think Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Wait a minute, is she related to Peter? No, she is actually an alternate reality version of Peter, or
right,
from an alternate universe.
Right. So that's a different Aunt May, and Uncle Ben's still alive.
Yes. Right, then we've got Ejection Protocol. It's a 0-cost support. It is a tactic. As a hero action, you can discard Ejection Protocol and exhaust each interface upgrade that you control to set your hit points to 6, give your identity a tough status card, and then flip to alter ego form. So this is a way that if you're going to take lethal damage, this is a way to prevent that and stay alive. Now, it does upgrade everything, all of your statuses, but if you notice, that part of it is behind the arrow. So even if they're all already exhausted, that's what I mean. Yeah, if all your upgrades are already exhausted, you can still use this card. It just, if they're not exhausted, they will be now.
All right. Then we have SPDR Command. It's a 1-cost support. It's a location. Hero action. Exhaust SPDR Command and interface an interface upgrade to draw a card. Hero action, exhaust this card to choose and discard 1 card from your hand to ready an interface upgrade. All right, and now we're going to, the next 4 cards
and that is one thing you're going to probably do often is you will exhaust and unexhaust these upgrades multiple times once you start getting set up with her.
Right. So again, with the sync ability, you can exhaust to generate its printed resource, but each of these also do something else as well if you don't exhaust them for the resource.
Yep. So the first one we've got here is the Host Spider. It's a 3-cost upgrade. It's an interface spider. So as a hero action, you can exhaust this to ready the suit. So remember, the suit is the side. It will actually be doing the attacking and thwarting and defending. Yeah. So this is how you can ready that.
Yeah, but you don't get the wild, obviously.
Right.
All right.
Well, I was gonna see if they can all fit up here, but they don't. So no, I'm not gonna worry about it.
All right. Then we got Psychic Link. It's a 2-cost upgrade. Interface Tech. Hero Interrupt. When SPDR suit makes a basic thwart, you can exhaust it, and it gets +2 for that thwart. So it would thwart for 4.
Yep.
Or you could exhaust it for the mental.
Here you've got the Spider or the Speed Metal Alloy. It's a 1-cost upgrade. It's a tech interface, and this one's the defense version of that. So when the spider suit identity defends against an attack, then you can exhaust this to get +2 for that defense. So, yeah, you've got, so we've got a thwart, we've got an attack, or we've got a thwart, we've got a defense, and
Now we got the web fluid compressor, 2-cost upgrade. It's an interface tech. Hero interrupt. When SBR suit makes a basic attack, exhaust web fluid compressor. It gets +2 the attack. So in a way, you can be a 4/4/4.
yes.
But so bring out the interfaces for a second. All 5 of them. So you have a hand size of 3, but this is kind of like Psylocke in a way. Once these are out, you can exhaust them to generate these resources. So even though you have a hand size 3, you've got 5
resources available to you.
Right. And then as you saw some of those other cards, it allows you to ready interfaces and stuff. So
Yep.
You've got a lot. It's just all your resources are on the table effectively, and you have to get to that point. But once you get your interfaces out, it's amazing.
Yep.
But it does take a little bit of time.
It does take a little time and effort. Yes.
Usually you have to go through at least one deck pass. But all right. So her obligation.
Her obligation here is the inherited burden. So you give this to the Penny Parker player, of course. She has the option to flip to alter ego, and you can exhaust her. If you do, you can exhaust her to remove this from the game. If you don't exhaust her, then you choose and discard one of the interface upgrades you control to discard the obligation. So if you are unable to do that, yeah, it's going to cost you one of the interface upgrades. So it's painful.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. All right. So her nemesis minion is Morbius. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 6 hit points. He's a creature. Force response. After the engaged hero generates any number of resources, deal an equal amount of damage to that hero. So generating resources, of course, is those interfaces.
Yeah, it's the interfaces or any other cards like that. Like, it's playing an energy out of your hand doesn't count, but generating it from any of your table does.
Yeah, like enhanced awareness or
anything like
or
that.
a Quinn carrier or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, even.
So yeah, it can actually affect other players, but it definitely hurts her.
Yeah.
Then we've got the side scheme here. It's giant monster attack. So this one comes in with a crisis icon on it. It has 4 threat, but let's see. As an additional cost to thwart this scheme, you must spend an energy resource. So now remember, once you've got your stuff out, you do have 2 wilds and an energy available, but if you don't have those out, or you need them for something else, yeah, this one, it can be hard to get rid of.
All right. And then we have 3 copies of the Energy Drain Treachery. When revealed, if you're an alter ego, choose to either spend 2 energy resources or exhaust your identity. And if you're in hero, choose to either spend 2 energy resources or take 3 damage. So no matter what, you're spending a lot of energy.
Yeah, Morbius doesn't like you having energy, apparently.
Apparently not. Or he likes to eat energy.
All right, so now to some of the aspect cards that we've got on this. So one of the things that, like I said, she likes to be able to get to her events and stuff a lot so that she can ready her upgrades and such. And one good way to do that is through tech cards. So we're going to see a few tech cards come out here. But first one we've got is a hand cannon. If you're playing aggression, it's a 2-cost upgrade. It is a tech weapon. They're restricted, and it comes in with 3 card counters. So you can only have 2 restricted cards in play at a time. But as a hero interrupt, when your hero makes a basic attack, you can exhaust the hand cannon and remove a charge counter from it to get +2 for that attack.
All right, and we're going to be getting to more of tech cards as we go on. All right, so Justice, we have a side scheme here. Generation X, each X-Men character gets +1 thwart for making a basic thwart against this scheme.
So that
doesn't help.
Yeah, we don't really care about that part.
Doesn't help with this, but if you're playing with an X-Men, they could help, I guess.
Or if you have X-Men allies.
Yeah, or you have X-Men allies. When defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. So, grabbing one of her important events.
Yeah, so something like...
They all deal with interfaces.
Like the All Systems Go. That would be a phenomenal one for her to grab, because it can either help her set up, or once she's set up already, then you can ready upgrades and use them again. So, phenomenal one to grab for her.
And it comes in with 3 threat per player.
Yep. All right. So in Justice, we've got a couple of tech cards here. First one is Invisibility Gear. It's a one-cost tech upgrade. You can play it under any player's control, max one per player. But when an identity would attack you, you discard, or when an enemy would attack you, yeah, an identity. You discard a invisibility gear, and that enemy schemes instead. So this one, a lot of times, I'm probably actually playing this just to thin my deck out a little bit, get cards out there is probably, but it does have uses. I mean, so it can, save you from taking a damage that could be lethal.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Dirk, but this is a cooperative game.
Ha
All right. So we got Prism Dust here. So one cost upgrade, preparation tech, max one per player. Hero response attack. After a minion enters play, discard Prism Dust, confuse that minion, and deal 2 damage to it. So again, this is kind of going with the tech idea that you will see eventually.
Yes. All right. Again, another one is the Sonic Rifle. It is a 3-cost upgrade, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a tech weapon restricted, so you're limited to 2 of them, or to 2 restricted cards. But as a hero action, you can exhaust the Sonic Rifle and remove a charge counter from it. You can confuse an enemy, deal 3 damage to that enemy instead if it was already confused. So, but it is a good way to, so this one's got a couple of extra counters on it. You could take and confuse an enemy if you need to prevent them from scheming, but yeah.
Right. So
Again,
grab Venom.
Venom. So Venom. Here we go.
Right. So Venom here again. So she gets +1 thwart, +1 attack for each sim counter, and you get a sim counter for each sync ratio. So if you use 4 of your interfaces, she comes in as a 5/5.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. So that's like Voltron for me in my mind.
And the reason we point this out
is because she make a great sidekick. So this is the side-by-side card. Sidekick is
sidekick's coming up. So we'll get to it in a second.
So yeah, side-by-side. So you make her your sidekick, and then you can heal 1 damage from both characters when you ready your hero and choose one. You can heal 1 damage from both your characters, or both characters get +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the phase. So that would make Venom a 6/6. And if you had, say, you wanted to thwart and you didn't spin the thwart interface, so that's giving you a 4 because you could exhaust it for its ability, and you choose the both of it. Now you're thwarting for 5, and then Venom is damaging for 6 or thwarting for 6. With this card alone out, you could remove 11 threat. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So this, and then we've got other stuff coming.
And then we got some well, this is not a Voltron, but this is a very good card because your hand size is so small.
Yeah, this one, because of the small hand size, it's a Clarity of Purpose. It's a 1-cost upgrade. It's a condition. You can attach it to a friendly character, max 1 per character. But as a hero resource, so you do have to be in hero form to use this, you can exhaust this card and deal 1 damage to the attached character to generate a wild resource. So it is another way to get additional resources early on in the game to help you set up. And then once, it's still useful later on in the game as well, but early in the game, this can be a very crucial one to help you set up because you do have such a limited hand size.
And you might be able to play 2 of the 3 cards you have out. All right, yeah, then we got some Voltron bait here. So we got Inspired, 1-cost upgrade, attached to an ally, max 1 per ally. Attached ally gets +1 thwart, +1 attack. So now, between those 2, she could be a 7.
All right, another one we got here is the Reinforced Suit. So it's a 1-cost upgrade. It's a tech armor. You attach it to an ally, and the attached ally gets +2 hit points. So now she's got 5 hit points. Yeah, 5 hit points. Whoops.
Yeah, Dirk is playing Jenga here, apparently, with the camera and the cards. So this is Sidekick, of course. So this is for the side-by-side. 1-cost upgrade title. Attached to an identity-specific ally you control, max 1 per deck. Attached ally gets +2 hit points, so now we would have
7 hit points.
And then after you make a basic recovery, you can heal 2 damage from the attached ally.
So that's a ways to, you can beef up your sidekick and heal her up a little bit whenever you got to heal.
Yeah, and we'll get back to the sidekick after a while. But now, kind of going back to tech here.
So we've got Spider Bite. Spider Bite is a 3-cost protection ally. She is a web warrior. She thwarts for 2, attacks for 2, and has 2 hit points. But the great thing about her is you reduce the cost to play Spider Bite for each tech card you control. Now, of course, you've already got the techs that come in, so she's very easy.
3 of your interfaces.
3 of your interfaces are tech, but if you're also kind of gearing your deck toward tech, this makes her a very easy ally to play for free.
That's why we showed those aggression and justice techs.
Yes.
And the other thing is, and we're not going through, obviously you could build a web warrior deck. We're not going to show all the web warriors again. Check out our Spider-Man Miles if you want to hear more details about all the different
web warriors.
Web warrior allies. Yep. Yeah. All right. But if we're playing the tech game, especially in protection,
oh yeah,
we got repurpose here. It's a skill, hero action, discard a tech upgrade you control. I would not recommend one of the interfaces.
You put in an absolute emergency, but yeah, I would try to avoid that.
Ready your hero and choose thwart, attack, or defense until the end of the round. Your hero gets plus X to the chosen power, where X is equal to that upgrade's printed cost. Yeah, if you're like going for the last turn of the game, maybe you could discard the spider one because that one costs 3.
Yeah, it's the where's it? Got it here. Yeah, the host spider.
Host spider, you could do that one, I suppose.
Yeah,
but I would. There's some other cards.
Oh, what's great is you use it, you ready with it, and then you discard it.
Yeah. But I would recommend with some of these protection cards that we're going to show instead here.
Yeah, because that was the one thing, and the repurpose works really well in protection because it's so many techs. So you've got electrostatic armor here. It's a 1-cost upgrade. It's an armor tech. You can play it under any player's control, max 1 per player. But as a response, after you defend against an attack, you deal 1 damage to the attacking character. So basically, it gives you retaliate if you defend.
Okay. Then we got energy barrier here. 2-cost upgrade, uses 3 reflection counters. So again, repurpose is good when you have 1 reflection counter left.
Yeah, you do have to use it before you spin the counter.
When you would take any amount of damage, remove 1 reflection counter from here, prevent 1 of that damage, and deal it to an enemy. So that's kind of nice. Now this goes with both repurpose and the Voltron idea.
Yep, so the energy shield here is a 0-cost upgrade. It is a tech item. You can attach it to a character. So it does not have to attach to your identity. You can attach it to your Voltron, which is kind of what we're looking at here is a really good card, especially if you get a couple of these out. Max 1 per, 1 per character. So you can have one for you and your Voltron. But when the attached character would take any amount of damage, you can spend X energy resources to prevent X of that damage. So where this is really good is you do have, once you're fully set up, you've got an energy and 2 wilds. So you can potentially spend 3 to prevent 3 damage.
Yeah. Now you don't get you wouldn't get all the upgrades because that's right. Most of there's a leadership. There is an upgrade. There is a basic one we can do. But if you want to, but Venom still can be a 5/5. Yep. Without doing the full Voltron thing. But yeah, you could spin the energy, and like Dirk said, one of the resources is an energy. One of the interfaces is an energy, so you have a built-in energy on the table. There's also a couple, 2 wilds, so you can keep Venom from taking consequential damage.
Yep.
So that's pretty nice. And the next tech is force field generator.
Dave really likes this one a whole lot.
I do. 3-cost upgrade, uses 6 energy counters. When you would take any amount of damage, remove that many energy counters from here. For each energy counter, remove this way, prevent 1 of that damage. Now, we'll get to it eventually, but one of my favorite characters for doing it is Groot, actually, because this can This can happen before the growth counters kick in, so that's pretty nice. But we'll get to that when we get to Groot eventually.
All right, next thing we've got here is Stun Gun. So this is a 2-cost upgrade, and so this is if you're playing the tech upgrade or the tech game in protection, but it's a tech weapon. It is restricted, so you're limited to 2 restricted cards per character. But as a hero action, you can exhaust the Stun Gun and remove 1 counter from it or 2 counters from it. If you remove a single counter from it, you can stun a minion. If you remove 2 counters from it, you can stun the villain. So this one, I mean, yes, it is a single shot to stun the villain, but yeah, it could be really nice.
Well, the nice thing is, you remove 1 counter, stun a minion, and then you use repurpose, and that's going to give you +2 to your attack or thwart.
Yep.
So, all right, now we're moving on to basic. So we got Ghost Spider here. She's a 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack. Web Warrior, 3 hit points. Play only if you control a Web Warrior card while you're Web Warrior and hero. When Ghost Spider leaves play, search your deck for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. And again, all the events are really nice for the interface, especially this All Systems Go. Yeah, this is a
phenomenal card.
great card, especially if it's before you got all your interfaces out.
Yep.
And if all your interfaces are out, you can ready them. So that's really nice. All right.
Okay, next here we've got Spider-Man. This is the Otto Octavius version of him, but it's 2-cost ally. He thwarts for 1, attacks for 2. He does take 2 consequential damage, and he does only have 2 hit points. You do have to be a Web Warrior to play him, but as a response, after you play Spider-Man from your hand, you can ready an upgrade that you control, and you have several upgrades options here. And if that upgrade was a has the tech trait, you can draw a card. So it allows you to ready any one of your upgrades that you need and draw a card on top of that.
Yeah, but the nice thing is you spend one of the interfaces to help pay for him, and especially one of the tech ones.
Yeah, and if you have team building, then you're only spending 1 basically.
Yeah. So if you have team building and then you exhaust one interface, Spider-Man Auto comes out. Now you ready that interface, and if it's one of the tech ones, then you get to draw a card.
Yep.
So you're basically playing it for absolutely free, because not only is it not costing you a card from your hand, it's not costing you anything, really.
Yeah, there's no reason she has the hand size that she does. Okay, so next we've got Across the Spider-Verse, a 2-cost event. This is one of those Web Warrior specific cards that we think is worth calling out for. But you can exhaust a Web Warrior card that you control, and then search your discard pile for a Web Warrior ally and put it into play. Then you can choose a player, and that player can spend 3 resources to duplicate that ability. That can either be you or another player if somebody else has Web Warriors. But yeah, this is a great one because it can get Gwen or Otto out for you. In fact, it's really great is you play this, you get Otto out, so you get Otto out for just the cost of playing this, and then he readies one of your upgrades.
All right, and then this goes along with the Voltron, first aid, heal 2 damage from any character.
Yeah, if you're going to be playing a Voltron, this is a good idea.
Okay, and then the other concept that came in SPDR is that she has 14 hit points, and so there's some cards that got introduced that if you have at least 14 printed hit points, you get some bonuses. So this was the first one, Limitless Stamina, 1-cost event. It's a superpower. Play only if your identity has at least 14 hit points. Hero action, ready your hero. All right.
All right. The next one we've got here, though, is the Superpower Training. So this is a 1-cost player side scheme. It comes in with 3 threat per player. Victory 0, of course. So once it's defeated, it goes away. But each player may search their deck and discard pile for an identity-specific upgrade and put it into play. And then, so that gives you the ability to bring in any of the upgrades out that she has not already played, or if you've lost one of them for some reason or whatever, so you can bring it out and puts it directly into play, so you don't even have to pay for it.
Right, especially like the Host Spider, which costs 3,
the most expensive,
and it generates a wild. So she's a civilian in Alter Ego. So we got Everyday Hero here, generates a wild. When your identity has a civilian trait, this card can be spent for any player and gains the text response. After you spend this card for a player, heal 1 damage from that player's identity. So if someone's like, oh, I need a resource, it's like, okay, here, I'll give you a resource, and you can heal 1 as an extra bonus.
But the other great thing about it, though, is because you've got, like, if Morbius comes out or whatever, well, it's wild, so you can still use to help pay those energies that you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah. And you have a hand size 4 when you're in Alter Ego. So.
Yep.
Ooh. All right. Another resource.
Right. Of course, because you do have the small hand size or whatever, cards like this are very valuable to you. There's the Power of All of Us. So this is the basic version of it. You do have a power of in each of the aspects as well. So of course, if you're playing the aspect, you might want to consider those as well. But this one doubles the number of resources if this card is used to play in this case, a basic card. But if you use the resource specific ones, a card of that resource or of that aspect. The aspect specific ones. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Um, and then continuing with the Web Warriors theme here, we got Web of Life and Destiny. It's a 3-cost support. Location Web Warrior. Ignore this card's resource cost if your identity has a Web Warrior cost. So,
3 cards are great for somebody with a hand size of 4.
yeah, or 3. Yeah.
3, yeah.
Because you're a Web Warrior and Hero, so you only have a hand size 3 at this point. Response. After a Web Warrior ally leaves play, choose a player. That player draws 1 card. So this is great for the Web Warrior tribal deck.
Yeah, and helps you when you've got that limited hand size. If you've got a Web Warrior that leaves, you can actually get a free card. So that's like a 33% hand size improvement right there.
And then, like, since she has so many tech cards, this is actually one of the reasons we thought of Power of All of Us.
But Leo Fitz. So Leo Fitz is one of the new cards with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he's a 3-cost support. He is a S.H.I.E.L.D. persona, and you can reduce the cost to play him by 2 if you have the S.H.I.E.L.D. trait, so that part doesn't really help you here. But the great thing is an alter ego action. You can exhaust him to search your deck for a tech card and put that card into your hand. So this is a way to, if you haven't built out her suit yet, you can get the different upgrades. You can get those upgrades out. Or if you are using repurpose, though, this also doubles to anything that you've repurposed, you can get back easier.
Yeah. And so, like, again, 3 of her interfaces are tech.
Yeah.
So. And then the other half of Fitzsimmons is Gemma Simmons, 3-cost support. Again, you can reduce the cost by 2 if you're S.H.I.E.L.D. You're not, unfortunately. Exhaust Gemma Simmons to generate a mental resource for a tech card. So, she can help. And this is not alter ego. So this can help just to pay for, or if you're doing those protection cards we showed, like the energy barrier, force field generator, all that stuff. Gemma Simmons can help with that.
Yeah, well. She's definitely great if you're going with a tech-centric deck. The Fitzsimmons combination.
Right. But again, they're so expensive. That's why we threw in a Powerball of us. And then this is part of the Voltroning.
Yeah, so the Voltron here, okay. That's where we're at now.
So sidearm, it's a 1-cost upgrade attached to an ally, max 1 per ally. Attached ally gets +1 attack to its attack, and its attacks gain range. So this is really nice if the person
you got retaliate. Yeah.
And then the final card, which is part of the 14 club.
So, the other part of the 14 club here is the Unshakable card. It's a 1-cost upgrade. It is a superpowered condition. You do have to have 14 printed hit points to play this one, so she's one of the few characters that can. But your identity gains steady. So this is great. It prevents you from being stunned or confused as easily. So, you're steady, you're not stalwart, so you still can, but it does require 2 of those token cards to stun you or confuse you.
Okay.
So, and the other thing that I guess we forgot to grab was, but we mentioned it, is a, hold on, wait a minute. I even said the name of the card earlier. Team building exercise. We didn't, did we?
Yeah, we pulled it.
Did we? No, we didn't. There's no team building.
I thought
we forgot to pull the team building exercise. So that is another one because of all of the, it doesn't help you play like the tech cards or anything like that, but right. Web Warriors, it does help with Web Warriors and things like that if you are going with the Web Warrior specific. So, it can help.
Right. And a card you could conceivably do if you're playing protection. If you're not playing protection, I probably wouldn't bother. But Def Focus could help with these 14 plus cards, especially like the limitless stamina. Yeah. That's a superpower. We're adding superpowers.
Yeah. To if you're using superpowers, you definitely want to consider it, but she does not have that many natively, but I don't think there are superpower. I don't think she does either. She might have, did she have one? I thought.
I don't remember.
Maybe.
I don't think she does, not natively. Those are all interfaces.
Yep, she does not. She does not have any natively, but there are definitely superpowers that work well in her deck.
So if you're playing the Web Warrior routine, then you would then team building would be good. Okay, so this is the last hero that we have for the Sinister Motive Wave, which was the 4th wave 4. So now Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, 5, I guess. Um,
Good. I didn't remember. So
so now the next video we're gonna do is we're gonna what we in this series will be the Mad Titan Shadows. So like we're going backwards, wave by wave. So this is where this is part 3 of the Infinity Stone trilogy. And it's where we have Avengers and Guardian characters combined. So
yep.
we had Avengers, and then we had Guardians, and now we're gonna have Avenger Guardians. So you'll get to see some fun stuff with cards that help build out the Avengers and Guardians.
Yeah, the Guardians had some really fun combinations that play with. They introduced some things that we're starting to see with some of the other teams now, but they really kind of were introduced with the Guardians that were really fun.
All right, and one of Dirk's favorite cards, modular sets, is the Infinity Gauntlet. So that's in the Mad Titan Shadow. So where you can have fun with not only Thanos having the Infinity Gauntlet, but Loki has the Infinity Gauntlet.
No. What was terrible is if you give the Infinity Gauntlet to Expert Ultron. That is horrible.
Yeah, he tried it all day.
That was painful.
The Con of Heroes. I was not in that group, thankfully, because I would have probably vetoed that. But
no, I tell everybody I let them pick what we played. That was what we picked. That was what we played. They regretted their decision.
Yeah,
I think they did at least. We still had fun, but oh, that was painful.
All right. Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. Please, like and subscribe.
See, it wasn't me this time. All right, so if you want to see new content by us, go ahead and hit that notification bell down there, and you will get alerts whenever we put up new videos. All right.